Since its founding in 1921, NSC has remained committed to providing solutions for immigrants who face significant legal and language proficiency problems as they seek to start new lives in the United States and achieve self-sufficiency. Through its work as one of only 3 refugee resettlement agencies in Philadelphia, NSC also serves significantly vulnerable and traumatized populations from an array of countries in utter chaos around the globe. From its current headquarters in Center City, Philadelphia, our staff and volunteers resettle and serve over 5,000 refugees and immigrants from over 90 countries annually throughout the region. NSC's comprehensive services provide targeted programming in the areas of social services, legal services, English education, and translation and interpretation. In less than 1 year, 57,000 unaccompanied children and youth have fled gang violence and domestic insecurity in their home countries, seeking refuge in the United States, as well as the opportunity to be united with family members already living here. The majority of these children, coming from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, have risked their lives riding the notorious freight train called La Bestia, or the Beast, and arrive at the southern U.S. border, having survived the treacherous journey over thousands of dangerous miles through Mexico. Because of the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act of 2008, children from Mexico must be returned immediately to their home. However, the unaccompanied children from the already referenced Central American countries cannot be sent back immediately due to human trafficking concerns, which provides them with an opportunity to present their case to a judge.
All the children that enter without documentation, they are being detained. The ones that are detained, they're being put in proceedings. They're in removal, or what used to be called deportation proceedings. All these children are going to have to appear before a judge and show that under U.S. law, they're eligible to stay, so they will lawfully be here. But the opportunity needs to exist for the children to present those cases, and ideally to have attorneys to help them present those cases. Children are being placed before immigration judges without representation. You can imagine a 10-year-old trying to represent themselves in court to put on a legal argument to convince a judge that they have a reason to be afraid to return to their home country. So at the very minimum, what we're asking is that children have an opportunity to have representation in court. So it is critical that the children have an opportunity to be represented, because it's unfair. It makes no sense to have a child try to represent themselves in court against a government attorney.
A recent study has shown that of the unaccompanied children who did not have legal representation, only 10% obtained lawful status, whereas 40% of children with representation were able to obtain status.
We're seeing a lot more in our intakes. A lot more children are coming to us, both at our agency and local agencies doing similar work, and local immigration practitioners are seeing a real upsurge in the numbers. So it's an issue, and these children are going to be in proceedings, and their families are here, a part of the Philadelphia region and the community. So we're trying to find ways to care for them, make sure they're okay. We're trying to represent them in court. These issues are going to continue for some time.
I think we need to put a human face on what that means and really look at the issue of what does that mean in the life of a 14-year-old? We need to understand the root cause of this problem, of why the children are having to flee. We all are striving to give all of our children the best. We understand that a safe and supportive childhood puts us on a path to being able to be successful, well-adjusted adults. But they really are still children that have their feet in 2 different worlds. So they're trying to make their way here, but they know because they have pending immigration cases, they may have a looming date where they will go before an immigration judge. They're not settled, and that they can't fully be here. Imagine when you were 14 years old, what was on your mind? What were the activities that you were engaging in? What were the concerns of the day that you had? These are children whose concerns are far greater than living and doing what they can in high school.
Recognizing the uniquely challenging situation these unaccompanied children are facing, Nationality Service Center provides streamlined legal and support services for these children.
So all the unaccompanied children need care, and they need representation in court. That's really the major goals that we're looking to address through any work that we do. The Nationality Service Center established the Bienvenidos Unaccompanied Children's Project, and through this project we're providing both social and legal services. And our legal services are to represent the children in their immigration proceedings and to go after any sort of legal relief that they have available to them. For many, there's something called special immigrant juvenile status. It's a possibility if they've been abandoned, abused, or neglected by one or both parents. For some, it may be an asylum case if they can demonstrate that they fear persecution in the home country. For others, there's other forms of relief for victims of crime, victims of trafficking. So we're trying to figure out how best to represent these children in their legal matters. And one of the major challenges we're having is the children are coming on their own. They're coming sometimes without family members here to be reunited with, sometimes with family members, but in difficult economic or financial situations.
Drawing on NSC's expertise as the largest provider of comprehensive services for immigrants and refugees in Philadelphia, the Bienvenidos Project will streamline the delivery of legal and support services for unaccompanied children in the greater Philadelphia region. For those children who have been released to family members, they now face a legal process that could take up to 3 years for their cases to be heard in court.
To be able to have to navigate the immigration system as a minor is of grave concern and is a challenge. Every child needs representation. Children belong in schools and on playgrounds, not in the courtroom, especially not alone.
If you'd like to help ensure that our community demonstrates care and concern for these children and youth by providing them accessible legal representation, please consider making a donation to NSC to help support this critical work.